Everyday habits that are signs of high intelligence. Let's get started. Number 9. A messy workstation shows a smart mind. It looks like a tornado hit your desk. There are papers all over the place, used coffee mugs, a banana peel maybe. That mess could mean that you have a sharp mind. It was well known that Albert Einstein's desk was messy. He wondered what an empty desk meant, if a messy desk represented a messy mind. Steve Jobs and Mark Twain also worked amid disorder. Researchers at the University of Minnesota discovered that individuals in disorganized environments generated more innovative and engaging concepts for ping-pong balls compared to those in organized settings. Clean areas make us want to play it safe, yet dirty areas let our brains roam wild. When you're surrounded by clutter, your eyes see random things and your brain draws strange connections. A stapler next to a book about dolphins makes your brain come up with something fresh. A room that is completely arranged is relaxing, but it doesn't give your brain any new ideas because it doesn't have any surprises. When you have large ideas, organizing isn't as important. Your brain is too busy making connections that no one else can perceive and solving issues instead of organizing files by color. This doesn't mean that all brilliant people are messy. Some people like to be organized. But if you like turmoil, your brain might work differently. Okay with deviating from the conventional where the best ideas typically emerge from. Your mess isn't because you're lazy. Your brain puts new ideas first. Number 8. Dark humor and cognitive capacity. It's not awful to laugh at jokes that make other people cringe. Science says that your brain is doing some amazing mental gymnastics. Dark humor makes fun of serious, taboo, or sad topics. It's not easy to understand. A study showed people grim humor drawings, such one where a doctor raises a sheet in a morgue and a woman says, "Yes, that's my husband, by the way." What kind of washing powder did you use to get that so white? People who got these jokes and liked them did better on intellect tests and worse on aggression tests, and they said they were in a better mood. This isn't about being mean. It implies intricate cerebral processing. When you hear a dark humor, your brain has to think of several meanings. Evaluate the literal scenario, see the evil side, and then make a mental shift. It finds humor in the morbid circumstance by looking at it in a new, entertaining perspective. Realizing that the matter is serious and the treatment is fun. Your brain is like a smart comedian. It takes a sad subject, breaks it down, and finds a funny way to look at it. To understand how clever the joke is, you need to be able to think abstractly and emotionally detach yourself from the humor. You think the clever twist on tragedy is funny. If you can find humor in the macabre, it could suggest that your brain likes a tough problem and can figure it out even when things are grim. 7. Worriers are smarter. It could not just be nervousness if you worry too much about discussions or replay unpleasant instances. This habit of getting trapped in your head could mean you have a smart mind. Studies show an unexpected connection between worry and higher IQs. People with greater brains might worry more because they can picture more future possibilities, including bad ones. Your brain thinks about many different things. Some are dangerous, and the more you know, the more complicated these what-if situations get. This is also related to sentinel intelligence. People with high IQs are frequently more aware of what's going on around them and how people interact with one another, since their brains are always looking for any threats. In terms of evolution, early humans who were frightened were more likely to live. Those who said, "That dark cave looks dangerous," passed on their genes. Replaying experiences or ruminating may correlate with elevated verbal intelligence as your brain processes, assimilates, and strategizes. This doesn't mean that having acute, terrible anxiety makes you smart. If your anxieties are too much for you to handle, get expert help. This means that people tend to overthink. Examine carefully and be aware of problems every day. Not being able to plan for every possible outcome could be a sign of anxiousness. It might be your very smart brain thinking carefully, planning ahead, and making sense of a complicated reality. The part of you that worries can be the part of you that is smart. 6. Doodling opens up your brain. Your pen makes swirls when you have a long meeting. It could look like you're not paying attention to your boss. But those thoughtless doodles could be a secret weapon your brain employs to keep on task. A sign that it's pretty smart. Doodling isn't just for youngsters according to science. Jackie Andrade, a psychologist, had individuals listen to a boring voicemail. Half of them doodled, and the other half just listened. The doodlers remembered 29% more things. Doodling keeps your mind from going into full-on daydreaming mode. When you're bored, your brain plans weekends, which takes up brain power. Doodling is a low-stakes activity that keeps your head from wandering without being too distracting. It's like handing a bored toddler a toy that doesn't do anything. Suni Brown, the author, argues that doodling is a great way to think since it helps you digest information on visual, kinesthetic, and oral levels. Lines that are messy work. The action itself matters especially for people whose thoughts wander. Doodling is an important way to control yourself. Don't feel bad if you write down your thoughts while you're talking. Your brain may be smartly figuring out how to stay interested, learn new things, and keep daydreams at bay, which means it's functioning even when it appears like it's goofing off. 5. People that stay up late are in charge. People in society like morning larks, but staying up late might be a sign of superior intelligence. Even though everyone's body clock is different, studies show that night owls may have a cognitive advantage. A study indicated that teenagers who stay up late likely to be independent, nonconformist, resistant to established norms, and creative. For most of history, the sun told people what to do. Being active at night may be a new trait that has evolved. Some experts say that smart people are drawn to new things, and staying up late is one of those things. Professor Jim Horn, a specialist on sleep, found that people who are night owls are generally extroverted creative types like poets, artists, and innovators. He said that night owls might be better at cryptic crosswords, and morning people might be better at simple logical puzzles, because their brains are designed to solve problems in different ways. A separate study of medical students showed that they were more likely to be evening types, and that being an evening type was linked to being smarter. This could be because the peaceful, distraction-free night hours are great for deep thinking, or it could be because smart people choose to do things their own way. Not every night owl is a genius, but you might like staying up late more than just a habit. It could be a sign of how your smart brain works in a special way. If you get your finest ideas when everyone else is sleeping, you might be using that night owl's edge. 4. Self-talk powers. If you talk to yourself or mumble solutions, it could mean you have a smart intellect. Self-talk is not just random noise in your head. Your brain is like a built-in supercoach that helps you learn, solve problems, and deal with your feelings. Goal-directed self-talk is when you use your inner voice to help you make decisions. Your brain makes plans and stays concentrated just like a detective who talks about clues. Talking yourself through learning anything new is like a tailored lesson that helps you remember things and learn faster. Talking to yourself is also a way to figure out how you feel. Very smart people might utilize it to change how they think about stress or to get themselves going. Their inner voice can say, "This is hard, but I've been through hard things before. What should I do first?" This positive self-talk makes you feel better and do better. It's about being aware of your thoughts and having an internal conversation that helps you think about yourself and reflect on things. This is a very advanced cognitive skill. It's not simply that you talk to yourself, it's how you do it. A voice inside your head that is always critical is just noise. Talking to yourself in a productive way, asking questions, looking for answers, and cheering yourself on are all smart habits. For development, little kids do this out loud. A lot of smart grown-ups use this instrument inside themselves. Talking to yourself could be turning on one of the most powerful tools in your brain. It's your brain functioning smart. 3. Smart laziness is the best way to go. If someone calls you lazy for finding the shortest way to do a job, it can mean you have a smart intellect. This isn't about being lazy, it's about strategic laziness, which is a smart approach for your brain to save energy and get the most done. Bill Gates famously claimed that he picks a lazy person for a hard job because they'll find an easy method to complete it. This means that the person is smart enough to find the most efficient way to do it. This laziness needs intelligence, which is being able to see things in new ways and come up with solutions. German General Kurt von Hammerstein-Eckert remarked that smart and lazy officers were meant to be the best leaders. They were smart enough to know what was important and lazy enough to find the easiest way to get things done. This is supported by science. A study from 2015 indicated that those who like to think don't move about as much. People who think big are delighted to sit down and contemplate, maybe even about ways to automate chores. Your brain is set up to save energy. Wanting to take a shortcut isn't a bad thing. It's just your smart brain trying to find the best way. It's not the same thing to purposefully simplify tasks and to avoid taking responsibilities. But if you always make things better, your laziness could be your best quality. 2. If you think a rule doesn't make sense or wonder why everyone does something a specific way, even if it sounds silly, your brain can be poking at the status quo. This is a sign of high intellect. It is rare for true innovation to arise from following someone else. It originates from someone thinking, but why, after witnessing what everyone else knows? Or what if we did the opposite? These people have their own ideas. Adam Grant, an organizational psychologist, claims that a lot of innovative thinkers put off doing things which gives their thoughts less time to come up with new ideas. People in society don't like it when their rules are questioned. In the 1840s, Dr. Ignaz Semmelweis discovered that women were dying from childbed fever 5 times more often in doctor-run clinics than in midwife clinics. He saw that doctors didn't wash their hands between doing autopsy and delivering babies. His hand-washing solution cut death rates by 90%. The medical community made fun of him because they believed in the clean gentleman's hands norm. Years later, the theory of germs showed that he was right. When you question norms, your brain is actively processing the world around you. It looks for contradictions, sees patterns, and imagines other worlds. It's the ability to think, this could be better. Smart individuals want to know why things are the way they are, and if there's no solid reason, they think about changing them. Not just breaking norms for fun, but wanting to get better, find solutions, and learn. You might have a really smart rebel brain if you always ask why or think there must be a better way. Your wacky idea may be the next big thing. 1. Brains figure out clues. You can tell it's your friend by how they walk. You know what your mum is going to say. That isn't magic. Your brain is acting like a detective. This is what scientists call pattern recognition, which is your brain's superpower. It looks for hidden connections and hints all the time, like a machine that breaks codes. You know the music after hearing 3 notes, and you could even remember where you heard it first. You can comprehend someone with a heavy accent because your brain fills in the blanks based on how you learnt to speak. You might be able to tell when someone is lying by the way their voice changes slightly, or you might be able to tell when a friend is angry even though they are smiling. You can pick up on emotional patterns that most others miss. Humans are smart because they can see patterns. Every second your brain gets a huge amount of information and sorts through it to locate the vital things. It also connects new knowledge to what you already know. That's how you quickly learn new things and fix new difficulties. It's what makes aha moments happen. Our forefathers required something to stay alive, identifying hazardous paths or secure flora. Your brain is so good at finding patterns that it can see them when they aren't like in clouds. Leonardo da Vinci claimed that recognizing a pattern means gaining insight, seeing beyond the surface and finding the hidden connections that are underneath. If you always connect odd things, figure out how to use gadgets without directions, or get gut emotions that turn out to be right, your pattern recognition is working too hard. Your brain is always figuring out what things mean, and that's a huge sign of how smart you are. That's it for today. I'll be making videos like this in the future. To see them, subscribe.